Hello, I'm Fontani, the Scar Ghost. Today I'm here with this old school 8 wall t-shirt to talk about Unity and WebXR Exporter, because we all know that WebVR and WebXR may be the future of virtual reality, because it lets everyone on every device to access easily virtual reality and augmented reality content. But currently the creation of WebVR content is quite difficult. So that's why we are happy that Mozilla has made a WebXR exporter for Unity so that you can create high quality WebVR experiences using the game engine that you already know. So let's see how it works, and let's get the usual cubic demo with the software in very few times. So follow me now. So basically this is the page where you can find the blog post about Mozilla about this WebXR exporter that leads to the GitHub page where you can find all instructions, and also shows you a GIF of the demo project that you can create easily using the demo scene that is included in the plugin. But so this is cool because you can see that you can create cool scenes with Unity and use them in WebVR. But before we start, it's interesting that you get to know what you need to do this tutorial. And so the first thing is that you need Unity. And in this sample, we're using Unity 2019.3.11 because it is the latest one. And my advice is to use the latest one because there is some compatibility issues with the plugin on the asset store provided by Mozilla. Actually, if you download the plugin from the GitHub page, where you can also find the WebXR Exporter plugin, you can also use Unity 2018 LTS, 2019 other versions. But I noticed that if you download from the asset store, you need at least Unity 2019.3.4. So if you want to use the asset store, please download Unity, the latest version. And instead you also need something where to deploy this web page. So from my experience, you can't, or it's very difficult to run it on your PC using the file, the build, the HTML file that Unity outputs, because of various security reasons. So just to keep things simple, my advice is to do one of these two things. One can be using your web space. So for instance, I have my blog, and so I can put the HTML file and all these related files upload on my web space, and then access the web page just going to my website, and for instance going to one website and access the web page that I've created. Otherwise, the possibility is that you create like a local server using Apache. In that case, I advise you to follow some online tutorials on how to create some self-signed certificates so that you can use HTTPS. In my case, I have a Linux virtual machine with Apache, and I will use it to show my content. So you choose what of these two road to take. So either have a web space where to deploy the page, or have a local server, Apache or IIS, or what you want. So this is for the premises. Now we can dig into the code. So let's get started. Let's open Unity and create a new project with the latest Unity. So I use this version that is compatible with the version of the asset store. And since I've noticed that the sample actually uses the lightweight rendering pipeline, I advise you to use this preset, Universal Render Pipeline. And let's give a name like Mozilla WebXR and then hit create. The plugin does not require that you use the URP or LWRP, but since the sample uses it, it's easier just to show you what are the content by using myself this kind of rendering pipeline. So now let's wait for Unity to load. Okay, so probably now you are here. So let's go to the asset store and let's look for WebXR Exporter, and this way we can download the plugin from the asset store. So just uncheck on sale only, because you want every kind of plugin. And let's look for WebXR Exporter. So this is the choice, so click on it, and then you select to download and import it into your project. Import. So now we are here, and as you can see, there are some WebGL WebXR stuff that has been imported. The main logic is inside the WebXR. Why there is WebGL? Because actually what Mozilla has done is they're tweaking the WebGL exporter, because Unity can export in HTML file, and so it can export in WebGL demo. It creates a template for WebGL that lets you use VR inside WebGL. So that's how this plugin works. And the structure of the directory is quite straightforward: config, material. So just let's have a look at everything. Here there are the mappings of the controller. You can look at the documentation on GitHub to see how Mozilla handles the controller's input. Basically, it makes a mapping between the input of the controllers in the Unity input mapping and some actions like actionating the trigger and the grip that are useful in VR. You can modify this. There are some scriptable objects, so you can modify it and create your own. To start, these ones are enough, so you have trigger and you have grip. This one is the material of the hand. Here you are the model of the hands that will be used, and here the animation controllers to perform the animation for the grip. Here are some plugins, the prefab for the camera, the sample scene, and then some scripts. The main scripts to create the experience. So before creating our scene, just let you see that there is a sample scene, WebXR, and as you can see, they use the lightweight rendering pipeline, so that's why I made you create a project in that way, because the sample scene uses it. And it's nice, it's the one of the GIF. And if you want to start with this, you can follow my procedure and then build this one to just start building a demo. Otherwise, you can follow me and create the classic demo with a gray cube of Unity. But even if you want to test this one, you have to make adjust some settings. First of all, select File, Build Settings, Player Settings. While you are in PC, Mac and Linux standalone, that's correct. You have to go there, XR settings, virtual reality support. And probably Unity will load a lot of stuff to import the basic plugins for virtual reality. Why have we activated this? This is just useful to let you play here and have a preview of your application inside Unity. If you don't do this while you are on PC, Mac and Linux standalone, it won't work. So this is the first step to make. And the second one that you have to take for the same reason is this. You have to go to this link that I will provide you, but you can also find it in the basic tutorial by Mozilla that is here. You have to take the input manager.asset file and substitute it to the one provided. Use the one provided by Mozilla to substitute the one that you have in your project folder. So here what I do is to go to this file, I provide the link in the description, I copy the content, then I go to the location of my project. I just use this classical shortcut or do show in Explorer, but actually you can do however you want. Then you go to your main folder of the project and you do assets. You go into the main folder of the project, not go into assets but go into project settings, and substitute the input manager with the file that I show you. In this case, I just choose to substitute in site text, but you can also download the file from the web and then use the that file to substitute this web file. This again will be useful to let you play inside the editor having the correct input from the controllers. If you don't do this, the build still works, but inside the editor you have lots of errors. So now that we've done all this, it's all set to test the WebXR environment. So let's go to WebGL here. Okay, and select the switch platform. Okay, now that we are here, let's go to the player settings, resolution and presentation, and select the WebXR template. So as I told you, we will export in WebGL with a special XR template. And so let's decide the name for the experience and the description. So fancy XR cubes, and the name is, as you want, Mozilla WebXR cubes. This will be the name of the web page that we're going to export. These are some other settings that you can tweak if you want. Okay, so now we're completely set to play. So the first thing that you can do if you want is to put your headset on. In my case, I have an Oculus headset. So to be exact, I have an Oculus Quest with Link. What I'm going to do is just hit play on the scene that I found in Assets, WebXR, Sample, Desert, and the WebXR scene. So let me hit play. And I'm seeing it in VR, so you see it in the lower part of the window. So I can, for instance, take something with my hand, throw it, take this sphere, takes the things together. And wow, it's WebXR, and I can also do this with my hands. So everything is working. You could also make a build of it and enjoy it, or you can just go on the sample demo build on Mozilla website. It has put a link on GitHub, but I want to create a new experience with you. So we want cubes, we don't want these fancy things. So let's go to assets, to scenes, and let's create a new scene. So create, I press here the right key of my mouse, create, and select scene, gray cube. Okay, let's open gray cube. It's a standard super sad unit environment. So we just delete the main camera, we go to WebXR, prefabs, WebXR camera set, and we have a virtual camera. Notice that the camera is in the origin, but actually when you play, it goes into this default height of 1.2. So you don't have to put it at your height, otherwise it becomes too high. So leave it in the origin for now, and let's add the cube into the scene. So create object, always with the right button, 3D object, cube. And now let's move it somehow, somewhere. And again, we're set. So you can save the scene, in my case with Ctrl S or just save. And believe it or not, this is already a WebXR experience. So you can hit play. And I'm in VR, I have my hands, and I see a cube. It's all gray, it's exactly what we want from this, this fun experience. But we think that it's not enough. As you've seen before, my hands have no animation interaction. There are no interactions at all in the scene, so let's try to complicate it a bit. So how to add interactions? We have to trigger the animations in the hands. So Mozilla gives us a sample, but actually it doesn't give us a completely customized way of using the hands. You can use your own model of the hands. If you go into hand R, you see that there is an animator with there is a model of the hands that is here below. So actually it is a very open framework. You can decide what kind of model to put here. You can add your own hand. You can even add your own input mapping between the events and input from the controller, so it's fully customizable. But for now, just use it's already provided hands that, as you can see, have an animator here. If I click on the controller, there is only one animation that is taken. It's the animation that close the hand when you grip, so we can see it exactly. And so we have to trigger it when the user presses the grip button or the trigger, as you want. So let's make it close when the user activates the grip button or the trigger button. To do that, we can add the script here. So we can add in the script, we can add another script and call it close hands. We create the scripts and we add it to the both of hands, so hand L and hand R. We move close hand. So we open the script with Visual Studio. And now we'll modify it to add the methods of Mozilla. So let me just go fast forward to the script writing so that I can show you the result and then explain it. So here you are the code. So we get the animator of the hand, and then we get the WebXR controller that of the hand that we attach the script to. So because this is a controller created by Mozilla that lets you query the state of the controller, and it is useful. It's very useful to provide the interactions. So in the update function, we use this clever writing that I copied from the sample of Mozilla. That is this one. This is the script attached to the controllers in the sample scene and lets you take the cubes and the spheres with your hands. So it is more complex. Now I want to do something simple, but I invite you to investigate it later on. What it does is just query if the user is pressing the trigger button or the grip button. And if the trigger is pressed, then the animator will just play the take animation from the status of 1. So it's just pressed, it's just go to the 1 is the status where the hand is closed. While if there is not pressed the trigger, but the grip may have different states from 0 to 1, then play the take animation from the current status of the grip. So this is a very smart way to show you the status of the hands depending on the trigger and the grip button. You can dig into the code later on. I think it's a clever way without having to get some weird states within the animators, but you can do something else. For instance, you can query the status of the grip button and maybe change the color of your hands accordingly or whatever you want. So this is the script. You save it after you have written it. You can write on here. We press the play button. And then, as you can see, I have my hands and I can close them. So this is the only animation provided by Mozilla, but you can create your own ones for your own hand model and do what you want in WebVR. So now, before building it, just create some simple interactions. So for instance, we can make possible that you change the color of the cube using your triggers. So to this, we can create another script called color cube. Create your script, color cube, and let's attach it only to the left hand. Okay, so open color cube, and what we're going to do within this script is making possible to change the color of the cube when the trigger button gets pressed. As before, let me write the code and then comment it for you. Okay, so here is the script. It's called color cube. We get the controller associated with the current game object. The left hand in this case, and trigger is pressed, we find the cube, we get the material, we set the color. Two things about this line. Of course, this is not good Unity practice because GameObject.find is quite heavy, but now we're just making a sample, so it's okay. And now, why haven't I written material.color, it is because we are using the URP, the Universal Rendering Pipeline, so there is not the main color, but there is the base color for the lit material. So this is just a little detail, but if we just hit play, so bam, discotheque. So if I press, every time I press, it changes color. If I keep pressed, we have the discotheque. So if we want to avoid the discotheque effect, we don't have to use get button, but get button down. So it just takes the falling edge when we press the controller. So let me try it again. Let's try this one. I can close my right hand. If I close my left hand, even if I keep it pressed, it just changes it one time. As you can see, I've noticed that sometimes there are some bugs. The detection stops working with the get button down. I'm still investigating why this happens, but for the rest our demo is working. So now the next step is building this stuff. How to build all of this? File, build settings, select the current scene and delete the previous one. Just build the project wherever you want. In this case, I create a new folder called Mozilla Gray Cube Demo. And we just hit select folder and let it build. Mozilla advises to do build and run. Actually, on my PC it doesn't work. So probably if you have Apache on your host PC, it may work, but to me it doesn't work in any way. Probably because it uses HTTP. Well, I've noticed that you have to use HTTPS. So for now, let's let Unity do the build. It may take a while. WebXR builds are quite long sometimes, so let's just wait. So our build is ready. So now it's time to take this folder and put it on the folder of your HTTPS server. As I told you, I will use this virtual machine that I have. So let me just do some nerd stuff to put this folder inside my virtual machine. Okay, so now you have that this Mozilla Gray Cube demo is in my root folder of my Apache server. So let me just connect with my server, and that is in the virtual machine with the Mozilla Gray Cube demo. I hope to have written it well. No, of course. I am mistaken how to write this. It was here, Mozilla Gray with the A, sorry. So Mozilla Gray Cube demo. And here you are that it doesn't work. So it says that I don't have a web browser. Yeah, I can navigate with the mouse maybe, but it doesn't work much either. So why is this happening? You can see that I'm using HTTP because it is not secure connection. So to make it work, you have always to use HTTPS, and this is why I can't make it work with the build and run functionality in Unity. You have to use HTTPS, and when you do this, bam. Again, there is this problem. Why? Because you have to write to type that you consent to use virtual reality to Mozilla Firefox. You have to do this consent at the right time. So my advice is to say, remember this choice, consent for VR, and then refresh the page. At this point, you're sure that authorization is coming. In fact, you see in the Unity logo, Now I can put a headset on my head, and now it's turn to play the VR button. And now we should be in virtual reality, so just give the time to the environment to do everything. I'm in the browser and I have a fantastic cube. I can close my hands and close this one and change the color of the cube once. So this is for the demo of today. I hope you liked this tutorial. Of course, it was something very simple just to introduce you to WebXR in Unity, but you can create complicated demo as you wish. I leave you the reference to the GitHub page and all the reference material about this plugin in the comments in the description of the video. And if you like it, of course, like it, subscribe it, and send me lots of hugs. So bye bye, happy web virtual reality.